National championship coming up tomorrow night, Gabe. We have Michigan, who just dominated Arizona yesterday, and then UConn topping Illinois, not quite as dominant fashion as Michigan took care of the Wildcats, but still a very good win for UConn. And Hurley now finds himself playing for another national title, his third in 4 years. Right now, though, Huskies 6.5-point underdogs in this game. Seems a little rich.
It's I already told you, put my money on the Huskies. But I'm telling you, my favorite bet of this whole thing right here is the over. Right, you got a team in Michigan that is putting up 90 points like no problems, like a Saturday stroll, and then UConn likes to play an up-tempo style game, and they have 3-point shooters. So I think between the two, the over is just I don't know. I don't want to say take out your money, but I'm trying to take out some money to go ahead and lay that bet down. And then, there's some other ones out there, but the 6.5 to me is just, I don't know, national championship games, going to always typically coming down to free throws. I mean, They embarrassed Arizona, right, the Wildcats, and blowing them out by 20, but I don't know. Do you have any, does anyone stand out to you more than the others?
I mean, I think Michigan, watching them yesterday, they looked so dominant that it's hard to pick against them. But the caveat there is that UConn wins, and they know how to win in these moments. And Hurley's coached in these games before. Michigan 6-0 in championship games, a couple of those under Dan Hurley. Like, Hurley's 18-1 in his last 19 tournament games. The guy just knows how to win, and they thrive in that underdog type of spot. Not that they're underdogs a whole lot throughout the season, but when they are in these big time games, like, Dan Hurley knows how to motivate his players. And it sounds like this solo ball injury, a sprained ankle, he's been seen in a walking boot today. Hurley, apparently, from what I've seen on Twitter so far, and take that for what you will, it doesn't seem that Hurley is all that concerned about solo ball being in a boot. So I'm taking the Huskies plus the 6.5. Can they win outright? Yeah, they can. Especially if Yaxel Lindeborg is not 100%. It looks like he is going to be going tomorrow, so he'll be on the floor. But just because you're on the floor doesn't mean you are the same type of player as you have been all season long. So I think that's also an evening of the playing field a little bit in terms of the talent. But I got to go Huskies and Dan Hurley here.
I think what else that affects is Terrace Reed, right? You're looking at his over-under right now sitting right around 15 points.
Mm-hmm.
Lock me in for that, right? Especially
over?
if Luxembourg's hurt. Especially if Lindenberg's hurt. Lock me in for the over. Less bodies to be able to throw at him. I mean, they're going to have to go to him to be a force. And so whether it's at the free throw line or whether it's scoring buckets in the paint, to me, that's one that I could feel comfortable on. Even if you went down to, I'd say 15. Pencil me in for that one. Lindenberg is over-unders. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. What's Lindeborg?
It's sitting right at 15 as well. And you mentioned Ball earlier. Solomon Ball's at 11. I mean, there's prop bets you can, pencil in where you might feel good about it, right? If you're not necessarily sure, if you don't want to take the points for UConn, you're saying, you know what, I think it's going to be UConn, but I don't want to lose. If Michigan clearly the dominant team, find yourself some nice prop bets. Just, could be the over/under that I was telling you earlier, right? Trying to find some logic for that there.
Do you have, I'm trying to pull it up here. My computer's being very slow, but do you have Mullins, his 3-point prop or his points prop at all? Braylon Mullins for UConn?
3-point prop they're giving you by individual. So, to make 240, to make 3, plus 130. So, there's money out there. Points for Mullins right now, it's looking over under at 13. Give me 3 3-pointers and a couple free throws.
I know.
See, I'm a sucker. Okay, you know me. I'll parlay all these things together and just make a ridiculous one that'll lose by one leg. So just the key here is, if you're listening to me on the show, the key is to figure out which one's the loser. Right? I'm going to give you a lot of winners, but when you want to parlay them all together, you just got to figure out which one's the one that's going to be the one that you can complain about to your girlfriend that she's going to, while she's ignoring you.
Gabe, this one of the very first times that we worked together, this is something that you taught me, is you pay attention to the inflection in the voice when people are talking about their bets, because they might give out 4 or 5 bets, but you can always tell that one that they feel the most strongly on, and that's the one that you have to hold on to.
Yes.
What's
been that one for me, Kate?
What I'm hearing from you
what's been my bet?
UConn money line.
Oh, I did.
UConn money line or UConn with the points? I know you're on UConn. I know you like UConn in this game. You don't think this is going to be a blowout like it was Michigan, Arizona?
Who's the best player on the floor? Who's going to be the best player on the floor? The answer's Terrace Reed. That's the answer.
Okay. All right.
He's going to be the most imposing individual that's out there. He might not score the most, but he's going to affect the game the most, whether offensively, defensively. Like, he is going to affect the game. So, to me, that's where you lean on there. He can slow down the pace of the game as well, right? If it starts to get out of control, slow it down, right? But we know they want to play an up-tempo style, but he at least gives you that option, and he can run the floor well. So, to me, I don't know. I lean in that favor. I look at Michigan, and again, national championship game, haven't won in decades. You know, it's a lot of pressure, right?
There's more pressure on Michigan than there is UConn.
Yes. You got to go into the psyche of this game. So if you feel good about that, you say, give me UConn in the points. I feel strongly about the over. I think this will be a high-scoring game. And you know, then you tag in a little Terrace Reed, 15 points. You got yourself a little parlay there. Now, again, the key is find out which one is wrong. Right? That's the key there. I don't know.
Because we never hit every leg in a parlay. That's too hard to do.
No. I wouldn't be on the show right now, Kate. I wouldn't be here talking to you if I hit a bunch of these parlays, okay?
Exactly. We would be at the game, maybe. The other factor in this one, and you talked about it, is the tempo, is that UConn wants to play really slow. And I think teams that like to play slow, the tempo favors them more because they're able to muck the game up a little bit more. I mean, even going back to like Iowa against Florida, Iowa was physical and they slowed the game down, and that messed with Florida. Where Michigan, they're top 25 in tempo in the nation, so they want to play fast. So if you kind of can force the Wolverines to play at their pace, force them into turnovers, like that's another recipe right there for some success. So I guess the consensus between the two of us, we like the Huskies.
And I got to be honest, you know, when you're looking at this game, this is ultimately what you want, right? You want two teams, right? The one that's been there has the potential to create history in one way, right? Winning 3 championships in 4 years. Of course, we're talking about the UConn Huskies. Then Michigan, you know, being the first team in the Big Ten to win it in 20 some odd years, to put themselves right in the record books of the Go Blue people that are out there that I see so much on the streets of Chicago. So it's just a good game, and I think we're all going to be locked in to watch this one. But I think the Huskies will take this one. I think they're Huskies and the over. Lock it in for me. I'm gonna do it during the commercial break, Kate. Don't worry about me.
The over, maybe a little Terrace Reed action, whether that points, rebounds, something like that. That's what we're going with here.